Okay, so we are in the middle of Perek Chav Zayin, Perek 27 in Shar Dalet. So this Perek talks about, so till this Perek, we spoke about the Kedusha of learning Torah, right? Of how it is even more elevated than other mitzvahs. And if somebody stops learning Torah, then the whole world, if the whole world stops to learn Torah for even 1 second, the whole world ceases to exist, because it's the root of all creation. Okay, we spoke about that the whole world, right, is dependent on learning Torah, even more so than prayer, even though it's a similar thing, right? We mentioned that even though prayer also kind of reconnects the spiritual worlds and the physical worlds, but nothing like on the level nothing like on the level of Torah. Torah is the ultimate link of all of the worlds and all of the levels. Then Perek Chav Zayin, he taught us an interesting thing, was that unlike all the other creations, when they descend into the physical world, they become nothing but a simple physical item, right? So a table is just another physical item. A chair is just another physical item, and you can treat it without any kind of extra level of respect. You don't have to have super reverence for just a regular item. It's a regular item, right? Even though technically everything that emanates, everything that God created, emanates from His, from His essence, so to speak, right? So everything is connected to God in one way or another, but we don't have to give any special treatment to those items. On the other hand, Torah, there are many halachas as to how you're supposed to treat the Torah. You can't, for example, the Sefer Torah, you cannot grab it with a bare arm, bare hand. Right? And you can't learn it just in any place. You have to learn it in a clean place, right? And etc. etc. So the point is that he was trying to make that even all the other items, as they descend into the physical world, they just become physical. Torah, even though it also descends into the physical world, it retains its initial level of Kedusha. Okay, this is in the physical item of the Torah and the act of learning Torah. So even though the topics that the Torah discusses are very physical topics, very laws of, like we said, ox goring an ox is a very physical topic. It's just, this worldly. It doesn't seem to talk about anything heavenly or ethereal. It's very physical, but yet the process of you learning about an ox goring an ox is instantly transports you into a higher realm. And so we couldn't figure out exactly how that works. So off the tape later, the example, which I'm going to clean up a little bit now, the mashal that we gave is let's say a husband and wife, and the wife is away on some business trip for a month or whatever it is, right? She's away, and the husband is home alone, and he's doing laundry, right? He's doing laundry, and so there's his clothes are in the laundry, and it's a routine thing. He doesn't have anything special about that. But what if, as he's folding the laundry, he finds the sweater that the wife was wearing when he proposed to her, right? The very day that he proposed to her, all of a sudden, memories start to float back, and he remembers, so there's this sentimental value in this item. It kind of, this is more than just a mundane item at that point. It's an item that instantly connects him to the intimacy, to the closeness, to the relationship between him and his wife, because it brought about a whole bunch of these memories, right? So similarly, all the other items that exist in this world, they're very mundane, they're regular things, right? But Torah is not like that. Torah is made to reconnect to God. It is the tool which, by you learning it, you are kind of tapping into the Kedusha of Hashem. So therefore, even though, yes, it went down into this world, and it became very physical, and discussing very physical things, but sewed into those physical things are all of the previous kind of layers that that exist as it was coming down into this world. Right? So he's going to elaborate on this now. Okay, so this is where we're going to start. But who gam came? No. Yeah. Who gam came inyan maimoram? This is the same idea behind this is what they say in Zohar, the kutshabrichu ve'arais echadu. That HaKadosh Baruch Hu and the Torah is really one entity. Okay? Now he's going to diverge a little bit. V'hu. And that is, she'afal pisha ha'olamas holchim kulam derech hadroga. So even though all of the worlds, they go down in layers, v'yishtalshlus, in linking down, v'shinuyim rabim be'erech kedusha osam, and they have various changes in the level of their kedusha, kol zehu rak mitzideinu. All of that is really only from our perspective. Aval mitzidoi is baruch, but from the perspective of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and this we mentioned back in Shar Beis, or even Shar Aleph, but from the perspective of Hashem, ein shum chiluk v'shinui mekoymes klal. There is really no difference and no change of place at all. Meaning, right, when we're talking from HaKadosh Baruch Hu's perspective, He is one, simple oneness. In other words, He doesn't experience any change, right? So we don't say that, there was Hashem before He created the world, and then there was Hashem after He created the world, because Hashem in His creation, which is me. I went into the store, I bought a book. So before I bought the book, it was me. Mm-hmm. After I bought the book, it was me with the purchase of a book. We cannot say that about HaKadosh Baruch Hu, even though we say the world has to have a beginning, right? But so because from perspective of Hashem, kind of none of this ever happened, so to speak. Again, we don't fully understand how that works, but from HaKadosh Baruch Hu's perspective, it's all one simple, unchanging essence of Hashem. Right? As we say, as Kamash Kosev Malachi, Ani Hashem lo shanisi. I am Hashem, I have not changed. V'lo nishtana HaKedusha, and the Kedusha also has not changed. Kamash Kosev Baruch L'mayla b'Shar Gimel. Shar Gimel I spoke about. Okay? So just Hashem, from His perspective, experiences no change. So Cain, HaTorah Kedosha, so similarly, the Holy Torah, Af ki yordo v'nishtal shelo derech adrogos rabbis atzumos, even though it went down and it chained down, descended, right, derech adrogos, in the way of various levels, rabbis atzumos, great ones and many ones, im kol zeh, still in all, he lo nishtana mekdushos klal. It experienced no change from its original kedusha. Meaning, from the perspective of the Torah, it's still on the level of Torah and Hashem as one entity. So that the Torah that we experience, let's read a little more. Mm-hmm. And in its original kedusha, it remains. Gam b'zeh ha'olam ha'tachton, even in this lower world. Kasher hoise b'omnei, just like it when it was originally with Hashem, Yisbarach. B'mekor sharsha, at the root of its source, or the source of its root. B'lo shum chiluk v'shinui mokum klal, without any change or transformation of place at all. Okay, so the Torah, there is the entity called the Torah, which is one with HaKadosh Baruch Hu, right? It's just, I don't know how to say it, but meaning it's another way to appreciate the essence of Hashem, right? The Torah contains with it, how I don't know, but somehow the Torah contains in it the actual essence, the true essence of Hashem, right? So therefore, on the level of true essence of Hashem, it did not experience any change. Just like Hashem cannot experience any change, so to the Torah, in that original level, does not experience any change. Right? So what he's saying is, more than just what I said, that hey, it's a reminder, or it's a symbolism, it's a connective device to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. It's even more than that. He's saying that from the perspective of the Torah, it is still located in the original place without, it doesn't speak about the physical things. We only look, okay, let's see, let's keep going. However, now even though from his perspective all places are equal, without any change whatsoever, Because even the places that are unclean, they do not present any chetzitza, any separation to his unity, meaning in essence, Hashem's essence, in the bathroom is the same Hashem's essence as in the Kodesh HaKadoshim, right? From his perspective, because there is no bathroom and there is no Kodesh HaKadoshim. Really, it's one Hashem's essence. Okay, so v'chein hu, I'm sorry. V'chein hu be'inyan oitzim kedushas haTorah kadosha, and the same thing is equivalent, right? Is the same thing, is the essence of the holiness of the Torah. Im kol zeh, however, don't forget about anachnu ne'asarnu ledaber. We, however, are forbidden to speak kam laharher bo, or even to think in it, in unclean mevoyos, in unclean garbage streets, right? Ki mitzidenu, because from our perspective, vada yesh chiluk v'shinui mekaymes. From our perspective, of course, there is a difference between types of places, like we explained above, right? So the Torah has two existences. There is existence of the Torah that precedes our existence, and then there's the existence of the Torah that's within our existence. So that more than just what I said in terms of it connecting you to Hashem, when you're stepping into the world of Torah, you're basically being transformed outside of the physical reality, while being at the same time within physical reality. So you're in two places at the same time. So from our perspective, when we are, we have to take in the physical reality, so we have to treat it with reverence and respect and learn it only in appropriate places and treat it as halacha tells us to treat it. But at the same time, when we are learning Torah, we're instantly transformed outside of all these boundaries. Right? So this kind of explains, right, again, this is an attack on the Hasidim. Again, I don't know what the Hasidim did in those places. I don't know if they went into the garbage dumps to learn Torah because this was to show that Hashem is one and Hashem is everywhere. But I don't think they did that, and at least I never heard of Hasidim doing that. But there's certainly in the Hasidic framework, there is this idea that Hashem is found in the most unlikely, in Dafka, in the places where you don't think he's going to be found, right? So we find that, Hasidim are all into breaking these kind of literature, what's the word, confines, So, and he's saying, so he understands where they're coming from, because from the perspective of Hashem, and from the perspective of the Torah, these confines don't really exist. But on the other hand, he's saying that they're wrong, because they do exist. Because from our perspective, we still have to follow the reality that we have been placed into. Okay? But let's continue. But the Holy Torah in its essence, has not changed as a result of it descend from its original holiness, from its original light. Rak, it's only it's only that our eyes are they're covered from seeing. Right? We're blinded from seeing from the strength of its holiness, and its inner light. Okay, so that's why David HaMelech says, Gal Einai, open my eyes, reveal my eyes, so that I should see wonders from your Torah. Because in truth, the holiness and the light of the Holy Torah, the innermost secrets, they are explicit and they're revealed, and they shine in its original light. Just our eyes are not capable right now of seeing the actual holiness as it is. Okay, so we don't have the capacity to see that light. Okay, but it's really there even in its present state. Okay, Now, so that's the end of Paragraph Zayin. Now begins Paragraph Ches, which is basically just it's going to continue the same thought, and he's going to bring, as he usually does, a few statements of Chazal to kind of support this idea.
How about the concept of Shekhinah? The concept of Shekhinah, that there is a physical presence, imminent presence of Hashem.
So this, I think, works well with this. I mean, this is what I was talking about on Shabbos. I don't know if I made myself clear, but right, Yaakov in this week's parsha wakes up from his dream, and he says, "Ein ze kim beis Elokim v'zeh sha'ar Shemayim." So he was really the first one. We don't see it anywhere before. And somebody says, "Oh, this is a holy place."
What about Achen yesh Elokim b'makom hazeh?
Right, that's the same pasuk. Right. So, I mean, the pasuk before that. Right, he says there's God in this place. So we want to know, what does that mean? There's a God in this place, especially when Yaakov Avinu is really, like we say, Oves Heini Namarkova. They're the forefathers are the carriers of God's Shekhinah in this world. So why, wherever Yaakov is, that's where God is. It's not, right? We see later when Yaakov is about to go to Mitzrayim, Hashem tells him, don't worry, I'll be with you, because Shekhinah goes down into goes together with Klal Yisrael, right? So we see wherever Jews are, that's where the Shekhinah is, right? So why should there be a place? A place is a place. What makes this shul any more holy than somebody's office?
Just the Torah.
No, is it? It's only because the Torah is here. That's what makes it holy.
Well, and a place of learning.
So I think it's the same idea. Like I think that's works up very well with this parable of this sweater, and that's what the Medrash says, that Yaakov Avinu went to Haran and then he wanted to go back. Why did he want to go back? He says, "Is it possible that I passed by Mokom sheyispalalu avoisai, as a place where my forefathers davened, and I didn't, daven there also, right?" So it seems like from this medrash, the connection that goes from two directions. The direction is one direction is from Hashem, that there's something. I don't want to say. It's hard to me to verbalize it, but there's something about this place that's going to be unique, right? The DNA is set for this place to be unique, but then, kind of the forefathers, they made this place holy, and so when Yaakov goes there, so again it's like a symbol meaning, let's say you find a siddur, or a kid finds a siddur that was from his great-grandfather that he smuggled during World War II and was praying with it in Auschwitz, right? So you take that siddur, and your hands are shaking, and the davening that you get from that siddur is a completely different davening. And it's not just, what I'm saying, it's not just a sentimental thing. It just happens to be, wow, now that the kind of this piece triggers this connection to Hashem that it didn't do before, because it's Mokom sheyispalalu avoisai. It's a place that my forefathers prayed, so they imbued this place with holiness, right? So when I go in there, it opens up connections to Hashem that otherwise in other places do not open up. So shul is the same thing. We designated this place as a shul, so it takes on the holiness of a shul, and now it's a place that's more conducive to holiness, right? Same thing with Eretz Yisrael. Eretz Yisrael is a land that's more natural. I mean, that's more Hashem's doing. Hashem made a land that by its nature is more revealing of Hashem's presence. It's the same physical world. It really is the same physical world. But in this place, you can connect with HaKadosh Baruch Hu, because it's in the stones, it's in the position of the stones, in the heavens, because you're waiting for the rain. Everything in this land has little hints of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, has a signature here and a signature there, and so you walk in that land, you're instantly elevated to connect with HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So where is the Shekhinah? The Shekhinah is where the people are, but it's in the rocks. it's there because the human perception automatically sees it. I don't know if I'm making myself
clear. What about Har Sinai? When Hashem told Moshe, don't step here because this is a holy place.
So Har Sinai is another good example. So Har Sinai today doesn't have any Kedusha.
We don't even know where it is.
It doesn't make a difference. It doesn't make a difference.
So
I don't think it would have any... For some reason, I don't know what the reason is, but for some reason, the entire Kedusha, like Hashem just surgically removed any Kedusha from Har Sinai.
Does it actually say in the Torah? I don't know that there is no more Kedusha in Har Sinai.
I don't know in the Torah if it says that, but the Ramban says that all of the Kedusha from Har Sinai went into the Mishkan.
Mm-hmm. But it's an instance where it's not where the people are, but rather the place itself, specific place.
No, so it was a temporary. It was a temporary theater for this place. It was a pop-up shop, Here we're going to have this.
And Har Moriah.
Har Moriah, on the other hand, so it's a place that Hashem chose, right? It's part of it, so Hashem chose it as the place that is going to be set for it. But in that in and of itself is just a preparation. In and of itself does not make a kedusha. I think it is the Mokum Sheispal voice. It's the seal. So it comes from, I don't know how to explain, but it comes from two directions. There's Hashem. He is making a place that is more revealing, but at the same time, it's the forefathers that are coming to make it a reality.
So when
He's opening the door and they're walking through the door. If you open
I'm
the
not
door,
even sure if he's opening the door. Maybe he's putting the door.
No, putting the door in place, making putting a handle on the door.
Right.
Why did Avram take Yitzchak to that place, that specific place?
So again, I don't have all the answers, but it says El Har Asher, right? Which is the place that I will show you. So I'm not sure exactly how to work it out, but I still think it works something along the lines that I described. That's my current working theory. Okay. Right, so here we go. So V'lozois, right, so Paragraph Ches. V'lozois, Avhi, so therefore, so to the Torah, Derech Yiridosa V'ishtalsheluso Mimadrego L'madrego Me'olam L'olam, Tzimtzim No Atzma. So even though it went, it went down from place to place, from level to level, from world to world, and it was able to tzimtzim atzma, to contract itself, lehislabish b'chol olam, to clothe itself in every world, ledaber b'inyonei aisoy ha'olam, to discuss the matters of that world. Okay, it's an interesting statement. So the Torah that is in our physical world discusses physical things. Within the same Torah, if you know how to look at it, you can go to the higher spiritual world, and it will talk things of that exist in that world. So that's a profound statement. Meaning, I'm not sure how to take it really. Because I don't know what really exists
The
in this
symbolism
world.
of the oxen, and at the same time applicability of the case
possibly
to everyday life.
Possibly it's the world of symbolism. Possibly, world of forms, like right. I don't know. There's a world of malachim, so maybe talks about malachim. I'm not sure. Okay. Okay. But so, anyways, it's interesting. So he's saying that in each of its layers, in each of its descent, it discusses or speaks the language of that world. Okay. According to the matters and the level or the esteem of that world, so that the world can
Tolerate.
tolerate. Thank you. tolerate the holiness and the light of the Torah in that moment. Until when it descended into this world, it also clothed itself to discuss the matters of this world, in the high alma and the stories of this world, so that this world can also tolerate the holiness of its light. However, even though the Torah is speaking in lower things, through them it hints to the essence of Torah, and inner elements, and then the inner of the inner, higher and higher without end. Right? So I mean that's what we were saying before, that right? So the ox maybe symbolizes something, let's say midas hadin. So when you're discussing the ox, you're discussing the nature of midas hadin. What is midas hadin? That's HaKadosh Baruch Hu's midah, and so on and so forth. Possibly that's an option. Okay? So now the statements of Chazal, right? So the point is that within the physical fabric of the Torah, there is kind of between the lines, between the stitches, there are elements of all of the layering that existed beforehand. Okay, so Vayin b'Zohar b'Haloischa, Rabbi Shimon Omer b'Chulu. So let's look at Zohar and b'Haloischa. Rabbi Shimon says, etc. It doesn't say what Rabbi Shimon says, at least in my case. So on the bottom they bring Rabbi Shimon Omer, Va'ila Ahu Barnash. Woe to that person, the Omer that says the Ho Araisa Osa le'achzo sipurim be'alma, that the Torah is coming to tell us just plain stories, umilin dehedioti, and discuss plain things, mundane things. Ela kol milin de'araisa, all the words of Torah, milin Eloin, they're lofty words, inun v'rozin Eloin, and lofty secrets. Right? So don't make the mistake that the Torah is speaking, right? Somebody can open the Torah, read for the first time. Okay, there's a story of Yaakov and his four wives, and the whole competition between the two wives, very plain, mundane things. And the Zohar is telling you that's not true. That's not true. That's
historical prose.
Right. That's not true. It's more. There's layers and layers within. Okay. So that's the first member of Chazal. Next to a Parshas told us, Omer Rabbi Yehuda, I guess. Vadai kol man de ovid kutshabrichu. Certainly, whatever HaKadosh Baruch Hu does, be'aro, in this world, in this land, kolo hava beroza de chochmasa. All of it is in the secret of wisdom. All right. So again, I think this means that there's something called chochmas Hashem. There's something called the midah of Hashem called chochma. So whatever Hashem does, you can understand Hashem's wisdom within that action. Okay, I don't know why. Again, what do you mean Hashem does? Then that could really apply to anything. It doesn't have to necessarily apply to the Torah. It could apply to, again, the same table and the same chairs. So I'm not sure why he brings this statement here. I mean, we did say that, technically speaking, just like the Torah is connects to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, so too the table and the chairs also connect to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Just these items were not meant specifically to reveal God's presence, right? It happens to be they all can reveal God's presence, but they're not intended to do that. Torah was specifically intended to reveal God, right? But if you have the right eyes, you have the right connection. The same chokhmah of HaKadosh Baruch Hu is still in the DNA of this, of every creation. So you could see the same godliness probably as you see, the same godliness that you can find in the Torah. You could probably find it everywhere else. Just the Torah is the portal for that, while everything else is not made for that. Okay. 1 second. I'm sorry. Over Parshas Balak, Parshas Bolak, to Posach v'Omar. Further, he began and he said, Kama tovin inun orchin shvilin deraisa. How good are the ways and paths of the Torah. Again, I'm not sure what he wants with this statement, but I presume again that what he means is that the Torah is not just the thing that you see, is that within it, it's their paths. Okay, Parshas B'Shalach, Rabbi Eliezer Posach, Kama Islon Leistakolo B'Pizkome Araisa. How much should a person contemplate and look into the commandments of the Torah, of the words of the Torah? Parshas Toldos B'Araisa Inun Kol Rozin Eloin Chasim. In the Torah are encoded all of the secrets of the sealed and of the lofty places. Veheim Protus Inyone Kol Haribe Ribois Oilomes Vamadregos. These are all of the details of the myriads of the world and the levels Shinislabsha Behem Derech Yiridasa. That the Torah was clothed in all the way through. 1 second. Okay, I'm not sure. I have a feeling there's more to it. That he's revealing more to us than we think about this idea of the Torah containing the levush of each and every world. There's probably something in the Zohar, but okay, not for us. Okay. Okay, v'lechein, therefore, shkura b'fi Zohar, it is common in the words of the Zohar, the Araisa kulo ihi sotim v'galia, that the entire Torah is an entity of called sotim, sealed, closed, v'galia, and revealed. Right? Again, whatever that means. But sotim v'galia, the Araisa is constantly this effervescence between hidden and revealed. Shehu muvor l'kol mevin shepirushehu. Anybody who understands what the Zohar means with those words. Shehu haderech hanistor me'aTorah hakadoisha, that the way that is hidden from the Torah, she'ena kosu mefurish mevur bo. It's not written straight out. Ela shenistor v'nitman ha'inyonim elu beremes b'dvarehu. That all of these lofty things, they're hidden within those words. V'derech hanigla shebo, and the revealed part, who hapshutoi, that's the simple meaning, shel mikra, shehu kosu mefurish mevur. Right. So there's a body and a soul, so to speak. So the body of the Torah is what you see, right? But within that body, if you know how to look, you could see the soul as well. Now, let's see. It says, now, I want to point out, this is not like what I saw in a different sefer that was written. From someone who philosophized on this matter. And he said, why do we call the teachings of Kabbalah as something hidden, right? We call it Chochmas HaNistar, the hidden wisdom, right? So Nefesh HaChaim writes that in one sefer he saw someone trying to explain why do we call Chochmas HaKabbalah b'Shem Nistar. Haloi mishim meivin bohem etzloihem niglim. But somebody who understands this wisdom, so to him, it's revealed. So why do we call it the hidden wisdom? It's not hidden. To me, it's not hidden. I understand Chochmas HaKabbalah. So now it's revealed. Right? Ula'anoshim she'enam yoidim uvinim alo yesh shegam pshutoi shel mikra enam yoidim lefarish. But so to someone, to person, to Ruvain, who's a genius of genius and a pure person, to him, Chochmas HaNistar is revealed. To somebody else, to whatever it is, Joe Schmo, to him, he can't understand Pshutoi shel mikra either. To try to explain to him a basic pshat in Rashi, he also may not be able to get. So to him, that's Nistar, right? So why do we call this one Nistar and that one Nistar? It all depends on what your level is. On a higher level person, everything is revealed. On a lower level person, nothing is revealed. So why do we call one wisdom the hidden wisdom, and the other wisdom we call the revealed wisdom? So he says, "Ve'etzlom gam haposhut shel mikra darko nistor mehem." So that's his question, and he writes. He doesn't say what the answer was. V'tiritz shama shetiritz, and he answers whatever he answers. So they quote a sefer. I wonder if he means referring this to the sefer. Okay, I don't know. Okay. But basically what he's saying is that's not why it's called hidden, the Chochmas Anister. It's hidden because it's weaved into the body. What he's basically saying, it's not because this is, I mean, he's answering the question, is because that's the nature of the Torah. It's Sota Megalia. It's revealed and hidden at the same time. So, okay, I'm not sure really what the difference is. Okay, let's just keep going.
Doesn't mean whatever is obvious to the person at a lower level is just as obvious to the person who is in a higher level. To her, the person who's high is just as hidden as it is revealed. I mean, I guess, more is revealed to him.
I mean, I'm not sure. I mean, the Tzadok HaKohen writes that really everything that no, I don't know if I should mix it up. He says it a little different, I should say. He really says that, and I think it's in the same vein, but I'm not sure now that I think about it, but that we have something called Torah Shebal Peh, and then we have something called Torah Shebaksav. Right? So he says that once the Torah Shebal Peh becomes kind of revealed, then it becomes part of Torah Shebaksav, which I think is in the same vein. That once something becomes revealed, then it joins the ranks of the revealed Torah as opposed to the hidden Torah. But within the meaning, once I verbalize something, even if it's a lofty, abstract concept, once I verbalize it, I bring it down into the physical world, and then it becomes part of the revealed Torah, right? But still, within everything that I verbalize, there are layers of meaning that are still hidden because they cannot be verbalized.
Mm-hmm.
That's what Tzadok HaKohen writes. And so the hidden is always hidden, so to speak. I can reveal more layers of it, but the verbalization itself makes it part of the revealed world, right? So I think, I'm not sure, but that will be more with this sefer. I think the Nefesh HaChaim seems to be saying is that, again, I'm not sure where the disagreement is. I don't know enough. It sounds like they're saying things that are very close, or different aspects of a different thing, but somewhere the Nefesh HaChaim feels there's a machlokas between him and whatever the sefer is. Now the sefer that they quote over here says, "Ein b'zeh sefer hadeya lebal haleshon." Drush Hey Oisches. Now, there's a Baal Halashma. I don't know his name. He's Rabbi Shlomo Zalman, Rabbi Elyashev's great-grandfather, I think. Or grandfather. I mean, it has to be. I'm not sure. I don't know the timing. I thought the Nefesh HaChaim was earlier than the Leshem, so maybe I'm missing something. Maybe they're saying something else. I don't know. I just don't know. I didn't, I don't know. But, so, the Leshem is a known Mekubal. I know he had to be after Nefesh HaChaim. I'm sorry. I'll have to consult my handy Google.
Is there such a thing as a practical Kabbalah? Something that you actually do with it?
Some people say that.
Like Rava Bara Gavra, is that Kabbalah?
Yeah, possibly. Hold on 1 second. Oh, right, yeah. That's his name, Shlomo Eliashiv. Yeah, so he can't be Nefesh HaChaim's. Yeah, so he's definitely not addressing.
Rabbi Eliashiv is alive, no?
Rabbi Eliashiv is not alive. But this is his grandfather, or his father. No, it can't be his father, it's his grandfather. It says here in the Wikipedia, it says that the Chazon Ish says about him that he's the last Mekuba. He was born in 1840, and he died in 1926.
When they say Mekuba means what?
He's a Mekuba, an actual Mekuba.
Means a Kabbalah? Kabbalah is something to do with Kabbalah?
I mean, he wrote Sforim in Kabbalah.
That's what Mekuba means? Mekuba means accepted, no? Or it's not?
No, I mean, that's the literal translation. But right now, because of Kabbalah, somebody who learns Kabbalah is called a Mekuba also. I mean, the word Kabbalah initially means a tradition that was accepted, that was passed down. You received something, you had to receive it from somebody, you didn't get it out of your own.
So what about all
head.
these recent, like Rabbi Feldstein and other people? That
Again, I'm not going to speak about any particular people, but Chazon Ish says that he was the last
I just
Mekuba.
heard that they called him Mekubalim.
Right. So, Rabbi Feldstein, he specifically learns, the science of Kabbalah.
The science?
I think it's a science, yeah. Meaning it's its own. It's like, again, I could be a mathematician, right? I could be a mathematician, but I could focus on probability theory, or I can focus on, I don't know enough math terms to sound fancy, but I could focus on some higher level mathematics, right? So there are people who focus on Lomdus and Gemara Shitoisus and whatever, and there are people who decide that they want to focus on what we call Chochmas HaNister, the hidden wisdom.
Do they use the same Zohar?
Well, there are many Sfarim. I mean, again, so according to according to Rav Tzadok HaKohen, everything that's hidden is now revealed. So it's no longer. You could read the Zohar. It's no longer Kabbalah. Once it's written, it's the meaning within the words that's Kabbalah, but you can't just grasp it by reading the book.
The same thing can be said about Talmud or Torah Chumash.
Right, but some, right, 100%. But some, just like you have a textbook, you can have a textbook on geometry. It's textbook 101, and if you really think about it and you really understand it, you can derive other layers within it, or you could have the book that actually deals with those other layers. Okay. Okay, so let's continue. So clearly, this Leshem is not the Sefer. Just to be clear, the note that brings look into the Sefer of Leshem, it's clear that this is not the Sefer that the Nefesh HaChaim is addressing. So we don't know what Sefer he's referring to, that he's arguing on, right? I don't know what this Sefer, what the Leshem says regarding this, but probably the Leshem is coming to explain maybe the two opinions. I don't know. Okay. V'ayin zoyer ba'aloischa, kama chavivin mili deraisa, how beloved are the words of the Torah, the bechol mila o mila isrozin Elohim, because in every single word there are hidden secrets. Okay? In every single word there are hidden secrets. Right? Okay.
Why are they called Chavivin? Well, it's a secret, but why is it Chavivin?
Why is it Chavivin? That's a good question. Hold on. That's a good question.
Why? Because when you discover a secret, you feel elevated, and so.
No, I'm not sure. I think.
Why is it Chaviv Adam Shani Rabbi Betzeren Elokim, for example, and Chavivin Milei Doraita?
Right.
I don't know that explanation.
Okay. That's a good question. I need to think about it. I think that's a good question. let me think about it for next time. Because I think actually it's a good connection to that Mishnah in Pirkei Avos. That's also a good connection. V'kol echad mistakel b'sisrei oimek pini miyusam. And every person sees the hiddenness of the depth. B'sisrei oimek pini miyusam. In the hiddenness of the depths of their insides. Kifi roiv chachmasai, according to the level of his wisdom, v'zoich sichloi, in the purity of his seichel, ukedushas taharas levavoi, and the holy pureness of his heart, v'roiv iskoi ve'gyoinei boy, and the amount of time he actually put into it. Right, so there seems to be 4 conditions, right, for understanding the Torah, or 4, not conditions, but 4. Right, chokhmah, purity of seichel, clarity of seichel. And then purity of heart, and then just the effort. Okay. I'm not sure if there is a difference. It could be it's poetic right here. It's hard to know, But the difference, I think, key difference is more in the word roiv and v'zoich, right? The amount of wisdom and the purity of his seichel, or the clarity. The clarity. So you could have, I guess, a lot of wisdom, but you could be very confused, and you can't think straight, or you could so you need both. You need a lot of wisdom, so a lot of data points, so to speak, but also be able to.
Is Chokhmah more of a general knowledge, and Sechel its usage, application?
Not sure. I don't know. Amnam, however, Ikar Hataimei HaTorah, the main reasons of the Torah, Soid Nishmasa Lenishmasa Dilah, which is the secret of the soul that's within the soul of the Torah, Sisrei Sisareha, the secrets of the secrets, Hema Dvorim Shekiso Atik Yomin. These are the words that HaKadosh Baruch Hu concealed. Ve'atikon Mibri Yosef, and he removed them from his creations. V'ish lo yodam adai, and no man knows them yet. Rak avinu harishon, only our first father, who I think he was talking about Odom Harishon, our first father, who asher hisig bechinas nishmoso benishmoso delay. He is the only one who was able to connect with the soul that's within the soul of his. Shebohoyo mistakel bezir.
Delay means his?
Yes, yeah. Shebohoyo mistakel bezir ilah. That with it he was able to peer, to look upon the zihara ilah, this higher shine. Nishmasa lenishmasa shel Torah kedosha, the soul within the soul of the holy Torah. Va'achachmos ha'elyonos hoyu gluyos lefonav, and the lofty wisdoms were revealed to him. B'shoirish shorsham ha'elyon, in the root of roots above.
Do you know based on what this assumption is made?
I'm not sure. This is what he understands. He understands. Okay, let's see. Eisa sharchata, and from the moment that he sinned, v'istalik minei hazir elah, that this lofty shine was removed from him. V'nizbalbalu, and they were mixed up. V'nisarbavu, and another mixed up. Hasadorim ha'elyonim, the orders above. Nistemu gam hanesivois. So then the paths were also closed. Ushvilin elyonim, and the lofty paths, the chochmas of the wisdom of the Torah. Soid hanishmasa lenishmasa dilah, the secret, the concept of the soul that's within the soul of the Torah. Right. So I think maybe he's coming from this idea that Hashem said, there's HaChaim. Let me kick him out of Gan Eden because he's going to eat from the HaChaim, and then he's going to live forever. So I think the HaChaim is a symbol to the Torah. Right? So basically what he is saying is that there is a layer of Torah that is for now nearly permanently concealed. Okay? V'gam b'mayman ha'kodesh beis kabbalas Torah, and even at that holy moment, at the time of the receiving of the Torah Kedosha, after this basim alma, even though the world was spiced up, so to speak, it was improved. Until they said in the Gemara, Yisroel Shomdu al Har Sinai Poskazu Mohason, that when the Jews stood on the Mount Sinai, their zuma, their kind of negative, the negative within them ceased to exist, right? Meaning they went to the level of Adam Rishon before the Chet. That's how we usually take it. Im kol zeh, still in all, lo yizochu lahasig rak oimek pnimiyos hanishmoso deraisa. They were not worthy to understand except the soul of the Torah. Aval loy bechinas hanishmoso lenishmoso, but not the layer that we call the soul within the soul. Okay?
I don't even understand what that layer is. Cannot even imagine what it is. So
well, it's the layer that we say Hashem and the Torah is Chad. It's that layer. That layer where Torah completely unites with HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Okay? Ad asher yara ruach mimarim. All of this until in the future Hashem will burst forth the Spirit from above. V'yishpech hu yizborach es ruach el kol basar. And Hashem will shower His Spirit upon all flesh. Oz yizgalu mabuin the chachmasa. Then the mabuin, the springs of wisdom will be revealed. Nesivois pliyos hachachma ha'elyoina, the wondrous path of the lofty wisdom. Nishmasa l'nishmasa delay. So in the future, in the times of Mashiach, I guess is what he's referring to, or maybe Tchias HaMesim, I don't know. But in the future, that's when all of these springs will be opened up again, all of these wells, and then we'll be zoich again to this layer that's called nishmasa l'nishmasa, which is the root of the actual Torah, the original place.
So the only time it was revealed and to the only person was revealed is to Adam.
Adam Rishon, yeah,
and not to Chava.
No, I mean I presume Adam and Chava are one entity. Right? That's my presumption. Okay, I think this is definitely a good place to stop, even though... Okay.